Hello, and welcome to another episode of Let's Make a RenegadeX Map. This is like episode 4 of the day-night cycle. This should be the last one, then we'll be able to get it into the map. I say that because I've just gone into the other 4 maps that I said I was going to do last time. The morning map, the afternoon map, the night map, and the midday map. And I've just basically written down all of the parameters that I'll need to finish this off. There's 2 things I need to do. That's the light and the fog. Yeah. They're all going to be a bit hard to do. Well, there's a lot of numbers. I've got 2 pages worth of numbers here, so yeah. So let me get down to it and show you what I need to do. I'm going to be doing the light first, because the light is going to be the easiest. Well, I say the light is going to be the easiest. The brightness is a piece of piss to do. All I have to do is put the brightness in and the colour. The only time the brightness really feathers out is at the night time. In the nighttime version, it goes down to 2, while everything else is 5, which is it's all right. So I'll put in those. What will happen is I'll probably put it down. I don't know where the night time is. There's night time. I'll probably put it down around here. I'll make it drop very sudden. You won't be able to notice it, but because it'll be going over a vast distance. But yeah, let's just put it down and set a value of 2. And by here, set a value of 5. And again, here I want to set a value of 2. So let's bring that. Set value of 2. Yep. And let me have a look. Right here, let's set a value of 2 quickly. Set a value of 2. And we're going to boost this up to about 5 around here. So set a value of 5. So what's going to happen is it's going to go from 2 to 5 rather fast. But I'm thinking about starting the actual day, midday around here, just for the sake of it. Should be a way of moving these, yeah. So yeah, we're actually going to get a dip in light, and the light should be pretty good up here. So that should be, well, value of 2, and that one should be 2, and it should be 2 all the way back to here. Really, I don't need to put this one in because it's 2 anyway. But from there, the brightness is pretty much done. The next thing I need to do is the colour. So set colour. The RGB is RGB, so it's well, we're in the morning, so the morning one is 165, green would be 190, and this one is 255. Again, I need to set it over here as well, so set color, red, what was that, 165, 190, whoops, that's not 190, that's 190, and 255. So, what, midday? Well, have I got midday here? Yep. So the brightness is 5, which is already done. Then we have a colour of... this is going to get pretty boring. I'm going to do all the colours, then I'll come back to you, okay? So, see you in a second. And welcome back to Let's Make a RenegadeX Map. Today is basically going to be finishing off this whole day-night cycle, minus the post-processing, because the post-processing I don't really have a clue how to do right now. So, there's a few things that I need to set up. One being the light. I set it up basically in the first episode. There's a lot more to do with it. So there is brightness, the colour, then there's the shafts. The shafts are going to be the hardest thing to do. Basically I have to set up the same thing as a material so I can get into the properties. And then there's the fog. Again, the fog is pretty much like the material changer. I gotta get into the properties, so I have to keep on changing stuff. So, first thing I want to do is the brightness, because the brightness is pretty much the easiest thing. The only time the brightness changes is at night. I've gone in and went into all the different levels: the morning, afternoon, midday and night, and I've written down basically every property I ever need. So for the brightness, it starts off at 5. I do believe this is already set to 5, yeah. And midday it's 5. It starts changing when it gets to night time, so I'm going to come about here and come about here. This one I need to change to 2, so set value 2, because this is when it starts getting night. It's a bit confusing, but it's basically morning here, day, night, well, it starts night here, this is night time, and then it's morning again. So I need to come about here, go to brightness, and stick that to 2, and I'm just going to stick this one to 5, because, yeah, not sorry, not time, value down to 5, because you're not really going to notice any of this. It needs to be 5 to come back to the beginning, because this is going to be 5. I don't need to worry about midday, because midday is going to be 5 anyway. It's just going to carry on through. It's just around here where it's just going to dip, and then it's going to bring itself back up. So there's that done. Now for the colour. Colour is really easy. I've wrote down the hex codes, so all I have to do is type in the hex for each one. So set colour. This colour is going to be what is it? 00 FF B EA5. Actually, I want to copy that. And this one here is going to be the same. So set colour. Done. Midday is going to be the same. So it isn't the same color, but all I have to do is change the hex code to 00FFD. What is it? BB6. Okay. Afternoon. My afternoon color is that color. Really, I should duplicate this over here and over here, which I will do. But yeah, let's set this number anyway. Was it 00FF D38A? Old house number. It's weird. So yeah, and then the nighttime one. Really, I don't need it here, so I'm going to get rid of that. Set color, and this one's a really weird one. It's really dark. No, E00 FFFD, and this same here. Set color. No. Set color, and this one's the same. 00E 0FFD. So the only things I have to change now is the shafts. The shafts are going to be a pain in the arse. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things, but most of them I can actually do normally with a float. So this one I need to give it the name of, I have no idea. Where's my light? There's my light. So let me just come back. So I don't need any of this anymore. It's all sorted. Yeah, occlusion depth range. Whoops. What the hell did that? Occlusion depth range, and this is a property, isn't it? So yeah, basically each one of these I have to set the property of that, so enter, and this property would be 20,000 set value, so it's going to fly up there. And then I need to set up the next one, which would be bloom scale. So let's get another one of these, and so on and so forth. So what was it? I've lost it. That one there. Set value. Bloom scale is actually 1, so that's all good. Now we just add another one. Did I even put a name in for that? No. Bloom threshold's the next one. So in fact I did this wrong. Let's delete this and delete this. It's actually a property that I need, float property track. Occlusion. No, it isn't. Well, that bloom scale I do need. And this, no, shadow radius. No, don't want to mess with that. This bloom scale I'll put in a bit. So I need to get this depth of range thing first. So it should be a. Probably no. It's not a vector. It's not a material. Movement. I had all this sorted out. Color property, no. Should just be a float. Well, let me see if any of these change actually. That doesn't change. Oh yeah, shafts. That number doesn't actually change, so I can go straight to bloom scale, which is awesome. The bloom threshold, it does change, so what doesn't it? So yeah, it changes during the night to 0.5. So let me figure this out. Float property, what is it? Occlusion, mask, darkness. That does change, so I need to set that. Bloom scale. Cancel that. There's something else that I need. Bool. No, it's not bool. Event. Animation control track, notified track movement, linear color. Well, I'm going to have to put a color property in, and it's going to be the bloom tint. But right now I want to get the thresholds, I want to keep them in the same thing, so. Vector property? No. Visibility. Material, it's not a particle. I would have thought it was just normal property. See what happens if I change this. Do I get it in here now? No. So I gotta add this somehow, and I've been talking to people about the light shafts themselves, and people, well, one person in particular told me it couldn't be done, but he used an old UDK. It was actually for the satellite animation in Black Dawn. He managed to do it through an INI or something like that, he said, but he couldn't do it through Matinee. But this is a newer version of UDK, so I might be able to actually get away with it. Linear color, notification protocol, toggle. Let's see if we can actually do it with material. No, I can't, because it's not material. Threshold I might not actually be able to change, which is unfortunate. Yes, I really need to change it for night. No, delete. Moment. 100, 100, 100, and 100, so that one doesn't have to be done. It's just that bloom threshold. How do I change that? Ah, there we go. We'll change what's this bloom. So bloom threshold. Then we want that. Yeah, that one doesn't really change. Such that. In fact, it does. It does change. I know for a fact it changes. It goes from 5 million to 500,000 to 5 million to 500,000 again. So I need to put another one of these in. Call it bloom screen blend threshold. This might not actually work, but I'm hoping it will. Then the bloom tint, which is in this here. It's not in there. I lied. It's not in there. It is in. It's not in there either. It should be in color. Color property track. Bloom tint. And which was the last one I want? Opacity mask darkness. That was in here, I do believe. Yep. So yeah, I've got them all set up now. Now what I'm going to do is go through each of these and change the properties in each specific location. This color I'm going to change a little bit. I want to bring this over here and over here. Same with, I think the night one's already set up. Yeah, the night one's already set up. It's just the day one I needed to change. So it's going to go quite awkward otherwise. So I'm going to quickly do that, and I will be back to do the fog. See you in a bit. Alright, so I just finished all that off. Pain in the arse, but I did it. So all these numbers are, well, they do what they do. We're getting from daytime to morning, daytime to afternoon to night, back to morning, morning to midday. So fingers crossed that this actually works. Let's just bring this back to the beginning and play. It's the night time that I'm really worried about. Kind of works. So yeah, there's that done. Let's stop it. Let's go back to the beginning, and now we've got to do fog. Fog's a bit of a git because there's so many parameters for it. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parameters. So it is quite a lot. So some of the fog is actually the same, I think, mostly. Mostly what we need to change is fog density, height, the fall off height, the opacity, start distance, this angle, this opacity, and these two colors I can actually do with the normal color thing, and this light thing. Whatever. a brightness thing that I can't bloody pronounce. So yeah, we're gonna add this to this. There's no other way of putting it. Let's. I thought there was a way of making this smaller. Obviously not. Let's add a new empty group. Call this one fog. Let's be added down here. Alright, so now we want to float a property. Okay, well, let me float properties. I haven't actually got the fog selected. So yeah, let's add this fog into here. Now we should be able to pull the properties off. Float property. Yeah, so now we have a lot of properties, which is cool. Let me just cancel this for a second, bring this over here, get my properties up so I can actually see what I'm doing, as I never actually wrote down what the property is. So, float properties. So the first one we want is fog density, so we'll grab that. The next one we want is fog fall off height, fall off, so we'll grab that. The next one we want is people shouting at sound, woohoo. Opacity, so we'll grab that. Next one we want is well, you can see what we need. Opacity, and then start density or distance. And I'm basically just going to find all these and add them in. Last one on this list for now. So the next ones we want is basically a color property track, and thank God we actually have the two here. The light one, then we want the into brightness, which is the property, and then we want that light again, the color property, and we want the other side. Thank God that is easier than the light, but yeah, there's still a lot of stuff to go on. Now I just need to go through all my numbers and add them in respect to everything I have here. Why don't I have anything there? What is that? Star color. Oh yeah, stars. I don't need to know about them. So, fog density for morning. So this is what I like to do anyway. I like to add in all my starts and then all my finishes. Then I'll add in between. So this first one is going to be, well, I'm not using any of this stuff over here. I actually have it all written down. My first one is 0.03, so I'm going to set the value to 0.03. Next one down is 0.3, so 0.3, and so on and so forth. I'm just going to go through all these numbers off camera, and I will be back with you once I have it all set up. So see you then. Right, so I got all that done. Let's have a quick look. There's a lot to it now. Let's get rid of this because I don't need to look at that. Let's get rid of. I think we can get rid of that. Yep. Right, so we got the sun and moon. We're doing quite a lot of stuff here. So the sun is moving across the sky. We're changing the color and the brightness, and then we are doing some stuff with the light rays. There's no guarantee half of this stuff is going to work because these three parameters here, are using a physical, well, let's have a look what they're using, a particle system parameter, which is not what we're supposed to be using, but we're using it anyway. So I don't know if that's actually working. until we test it out. And that's basically the light sorted. Then we're changing the way the sky interacts with the light through all of these parameters through the material instant constant, which is also in a material instant actor. So basically any instant that you want to change within the map, you plug into here, then it searches it throughout the map and it'll change it. So you don't have to do it with many different instances. Right, so then the last thing we've done today is the fog. The fog is pretty simple. I've just basically copied the fog. Well, practically all of these settings I've just copied from the 4 example maps. We can change these and tweak them as much as we want later. So the fog is changing all these different parameters, colours and whatnot. There's a bit of tweaking I want to do because some of it is quite abrupt. But let's get in here and actually see what's going on. Look and see what's going on. So yeah, we got the day, then it goes to midday, which is sexy. Then we come into afternoon, and then nighttime comes up. We've got the stars working, clouds fluffing in, and then we go to morning, and then midday, and it'll just keep on doing that. So next thing I want to do, practically the last thing I want to do, is convert all this and that to a prefab. So what we're going to do is we're just going to select everything we want, and we're going to convert this to a prefab just by right clicking on one of the selected actors, and then we go down to convert prefab or create prefab. And this one I actually have I already have a something already made up. So RX day night. Just to make sure I got the right one. Apparently we don't have one. There we go, RX day night. Grouping, prefab, and the name, day night. Day night cycle. Day night. Yeah, day night prefab. No point putting a cycle in there. So day night prefab. Press OK. Found. Yes. Adds a sequence to the prefab. No, denies the sequence to the prefab, or just abandon it. We actually want to add the sequence because it needs to be a part of it, otherwise all what I just did is a waste of time. Continue reference objects outside prefab. Huh? Apparently I can't bring a light into prefab, even though I should be able to. So, next thing I want to do is file. I want to save this. Save modified. Cancel for a second. I do believe that didn't work. No, it didn't. I'm not sure why that didn't work. Create prefab. RX underscore day night grouping prefab day underscore night underscore prefab. Okay, yes. Sequence contains references to object outside the prefab. That's bloody weird. File. Convert. No. Okay, so we'll do it the other way. We can't do it the other way. Okay, what we'll do is no. Why can't I make a prefab out of all this? Have I got the right? Yep. Don't know why I can't. Let's try grouping these actors and making a prefab. RX_day. Day night grouping. After grouping. Day night. Okay. Okay. Sequence contains references to objects outside the prefab. Why? Okay, we'll copy it for now. File, new level. No, let's go to my date now. File to my tutorial map for now. Don't save because I just saved it. Not sure why that prefab isn't working. It should. It's a weird one. I think it's because it's that dominant directional light. It should work, but it just isn't for some reason. So let's get rid of these for now. Paste that in. Hopefully we can paste in the Kismet for it, which it didn't. So file, save as. I'm going to call this one day-night test. Because we need that Kismet. And I'm not 100% sure why I can't make a bloody prefab. Wow. That. I might as well select it all. Copy. Copy. Then I test. Come into here. Paste it. Bring it up here. Here's the problems. I can't bloody find what I'm looking for. Let's turn the light off for a second. It's over here. So, Kismet. Just come into ungroup. And that fog. Height fog. Oops. And the light. Still don't understand why that didn't work. Let's see if all this works. So we got it. does help if I actually had light. So yeah, the problem I have now is this fog volume up here is messing with things. So let's just get rid of that. That's a lot better. And then the post-processing in this world is going to change anyway. So right, so let's stop all this racket. I'm going to build lights quickly, and then well, after I built lights we're going to test it out, so I'll be back in a minute. Yo, so I'm back. Time to test. See if this is all funky, good, amazing, whatnot. Doubt it is, but we'll have a look anyway. It's not too bad. What's happened now, the sun's all messed up because of there's another sky dome. So if I come here, you can see there's one sky dome, there's another one somewhere. I can't get at it at the moment, so let's have a look for into impactors through here. I forgot to take it out before. No, I've only got the one. It's weird. My bet there is a second one. What am I looking for? Copy that, delete it. So it looks like there's a second one, you see. Yep. Paste it back in. Now we should be all good. I was hoping I wouldn't have to turn the entire level, and I think I will have to now. I'll select all except for the light, and I'll turn the level around. Because I can't make a prefab out of this, means I can't actually turn it all around. It will mess up the matinee. It's a bit silly that it works like that, but let's have a look again. Now we should get the proper sun. Let's have a look at our FPS. Stat FPS, and we're getting a solid 30. I'm happy with that. Don't forget everything's on full. Well, I'm getting some dips. There's some things I need to change as well, like the post-processing is just it's a tad too bright, and obviously this is going really fast, so I've got to turn that down. It's easy to turn down. All I do is come in here and put this to 0.002, and that should last at least an hour. Can't really see it. I was meant to have the sun over here, but it didn't quite work out like that. But yeah. It's going to take a long time for that sun to rise. And that was my plan all along. It was just easier for testing when it was going fast. So yeah, that's it. We can see it all working. Let's get into some sun. Still need to fix some of this. Everything's in shadow because of that. As I said, I want the sun over there. What I'm going to have to do is get all of this and rotate it. I'm not looking forward to that because I'll probably have to redo all these, yeah, all the foliage. Let's do a fly job. Have a look. Oh, that's slow. Slow-mo 10. Yeah. Slow-mo 1. So yeah, I'm getting like 20 odd frames a second. I can fix a lot of this with culling a lot of this out, plus a pre-computated visual volume, visibility volume will help. I don't think I've actually got that in at the moment. I'm getting 39 FPS. Basically, the slower this goes, the more FPS I will get anyway. So, and yeah, you might notice these this grass. I basically put the grass from what I use for the trees on the grass, and it just doesn't look right. So I've got to change that back. It's because it's changing colour depending on where it is in the world. It just doesn't look that clever. Whew, it's bloody bright. It's alright, 30 FPS, it's not bad. It can do better. $40. And whoa, I know what that is. That's actually the grass doing that. I can fix that quite easily. You see, it's only happening at the grass. That's the. Oh, that's a weird hole. It's just because of the specula's a bit weird. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. I gotta tone some of this down. I think I can do that on the fly now, which is awesome. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-ra.